for your portfolio to kind of serve you for a longer period of time. And sorry that was really quick, like the 6 months is better.
A lot of times, like firms request that it's limited to a certain file size. This is the best way to like reduce your images or reduce like the portfolio size PDF.
Yeah, that's a hard one. I think you just have to make sure when you're putting your files into your portfolio that you try to size them down. Like you don't have a 36 by 24 rendering that you're making a 4 by 6. Like you need to save the file smaller specifically for your portfolio.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and there's also a section here on like organization of your files, methodology, because being extremely organized as you go through school and you develop your work, when you go back and make your portfolio, it's a nightmare if you're not well organized. So doing things like that, like cleaning up your images, saving them down, getting them portfolio ready, all that like will help you when you're compiling it. So.
Yeah, and it may surprise you, but it's kind of nice to make sure that you have, I don't know, I like to organize my files personally by date. And, you know, projects 6 years ago that I did, then it's easier to access them and to remember when they were from.
You're setting up those grid lines for Amazon, and you download that file. Do the point, now that it's measured by the point, the grid that it comes with is measured by points.
Yep.
So it's automatically going to be lined up with that text.
Yep.
So as long as you don't adjust that point line up, your text will align with whatever grid is being set up on there.
If it's in the same like increment, so you can do like increments of 3, or like if you're using, it's basically like that. So if you're using 1224 font and the spacing of the baseline grid is at 3 points.
Okay. So as long as it's in the same multiple, then.
Or yeah, I mean, you might want to double check on that. It might not even matter because it's supposed to snap. It's this here versus 3 that you're supposed to 3. That's I know that should go definitely with the guides, but yeah, with those. But I think let's try. Let's try to make those. It actually is still snapping. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter. The font size doesn't matter, and it will automatically, because it's the spacing that changes, and then the text always snaps to the wedding. So it's great.
You just have to be in points, and that's the only.
Yeah, the document can be in points. Yeah. But yeah, the font can be whatever. And this thing will best. So yeah, set it up in the master, and then go layout, create guides. That creates those, and then preferences. So that's the baseline.
Is it okay to put like this image over 2 pages when there is this kind of guide? That's okay to do. Is there things you can look out for?
I think in a book like this, I think it's kind of difficult. I mean, I guess they do it here.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's weird, especially when you want your content to be really clear.
Yeah.
Maybe in a thinner book, you would.
Yeah.
And one that lays flat.
Yeah.
For undergrad students that don't have like undergrad work and graduate work and professional work, can you think of any other possible like subcategories in terms of dividing up our projects that would be useful organizationally?
You can do like project type, you can do chronological, you can do size, you can do what else?
But yeah, I'm trying to think. You could even
Worst to best.
Yeah. No, best to worst.
Yeah, best to worst.
Best to worst. But usually best to worst to best.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it works that way.
Or if you have like something that, I don't know, in my undergrad I never had anything that ran through my projects, but like now I know what I'm interested in, and if you have some content that keeps reappearing in your work, you can maybe try to do a lineage of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like we said, like if tailor it to who you're sending it to.
Sort of
So like
story.
you might not want to send some of your like artsy stuff to
Yeah.
a big corporate firm. But yeah, you can even keep your InDesign documents in the sleeves so that each project is its own kind of thing, so you can always adjust the way you're organizing your portfolio. And then you can compile separate documents in InDesign too.
With the sleeves, how would you physically, what's a recommendation that would give you that flexible binding that you could actually physically?
Oh, you'd have to like refine it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah. But if you're hand binding it, you always want to do it in sections and then bind the whole thing together if it's thick.
Okay.
For the built-in sites, do they like generally come with one? Like, do you choose the type of look you want? Like, do you use like hardcover or softcover? Like, is there a preference that's usually?
Yeah, with the InDesign plugin, when you open a file, it'll ask you hardcover, standard size, hardcover, or softcover.
Yeah.
So that new plugin is really nice.
What's that function?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They factor that in the beginning. Because if you have like an 8x10, you'll want to make your document like 8 1/4 by 10 1/4, so that you have that big. So you want to do that in the beginning, so you know that, because that'll screw up later.
If you're doing it, if you're like doing it printed through a school or Word or whatever, though, do you need to allow for that perfect binding? Because won't you just like say?
It'll be, they actually account for it in the template, and so they have some red lines that say like, pull this out if you want it to bleed, or like, pull the document out.
Yeah. Like hard binding.
It's like 1 or 2 sizes.
Oh, and another thing to mention,
Sizes, they're not gave map. I found it really awkward.
another thing to mention, when I learned with my portfolio, that's the first copy that I printed, and you'll see that I had a lot of like line weight issues. So you'll definitely want to print, a test copy for yourself and change line weights, because you never know with these printing sites how their line weights will work.
Any other questions? Is that helpful? Good.
Maybe.
And we'll put this online.
Just go on ASR.
Yeah. And yeah, those grids are great. I love them. Like, change my mind.
I'm gonna go back.
Is there a link to the wiki on the
I think Jason, yeah, like it says on the website.
So as long as
If you guys want to look at any of these, we're gonna put it online.
maybe
I'm not sure. We'll send out an email.
Okay.